Dear students of class 9 in SK Government Girls High School, Manikganj, how are you students? I hope you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am the Moidul Islam, Senior Teacher SK Government Girls High School. Welcome you to our online classes. Dear students, you know our school, our classroom activities are closed due to COVID, due to the increase of COVID-19. That's why again we are going to have our classes through online. Before I mentioned to you that actually it's a continuous process nowadays. We are whenever we will get our normal classroom activities, yet we will continue our online classes. So you should follow our classes and you should uh, continue your studies through online classes. Anyway, my last class was on English second paper and the topic was cat question. It was new to you in this level in class 9, but today's topic, voice sense, and it's very similar to you and it's a common topic. Now it is the part of transformation of sentences. Transformation of sentences includes uh, comparison of adjectives, affirmative, negative, interrogative, and voice sense, even simple complex compound. So now voice sense is one of the parts of completing sentences, yet it's very important in grammar part. So we are going to discuss on this topic. Dear students, you already have seen uh, there are two examples written in the blackboard. One is done and another is undone. I know him well. Here it's active mode and its passive mode is he is well known to me. And how we can sense an active sentence into a passive sentence. This is the factor. You will get it. Uh, you are you will be asked to sense an active sentence into passive sentence and a passive sentence into an active sentence. This is the question, and you will get it in your question paper in this way. Actually, what is active sentence and what is passive sentence? You know because it was discussed before already in class 6, in class 7, in class 8. You have got it. So it's not very it may not seem to be difficult to you because you are acquainted with this topic. Yet, I'm going to repeat it. Whenever the subject is factor and when the who is performing or who is doing the work, this is the factor. When the subject directly perform his duty, performs his work, that is active sentence directly. His participation is direct, and in active sentence, who is doing the work, it's the main factor. Suppose I know him well. In this statement, I know him well. This is active mode. Whenever we will sense it, he is well known to me. He is well known to me because I know him. How can I sense it? Dear students, you will notice at first we have brought him To change an active sentence into a passive sentence, you will remember you need three things: subject, verb, and object. You need these three parts of speech. Again, whenever you will change an active sentence into a passive sentence and a passive sentence into an active sentence, you have to recognize subject, verb, and object. Whenever you can recognize these three parts of speech, it will be very easier to you. Here, subject I, verb no, and object. This there may extension or another words excluding these three parts of species. There may have more and more words such as well. This is not factor. There may another more words, but your main factor you have to find the three parts of speech: subject, verb, and object, and it will be the main duty to change an active sentence into a passive sentence. Here, subject I, verb no, and him. Then what will you do? What we have done here? Because we have brought him in. This is object. Object will come to the subject position. Object will come to the subject position. Here him, whenever him will come to the subject position, that will this will be here the matter of case. That will be the he. Him will be he when it will come to the subject position. It will be he. And the most important thing, according to the auxiliary in the field of auxiliary verbs, what we have to done, we have to do. We have to bring an extra auxiliary verb. Remember this. We have to bring an extra auxiliary verb. We in active sentence, if there is one auxiliary verb, in passive sentence you have to bring another auxiliary verb. Then there will be two auxiliary verbs. Again, I say, if there is no auxiliary verb in active sentence, you have to bring one auxiliary verb. That means you have to bring one auxiliary verbs more in passive sentence. In active sentence there are two auxiliary verbs. Then you have to bring one auxiliary verbs, and there are two auxiliary verbs in active sentence. So there will be total three auxiliary verbs. Here, I know him well. There is no an auxiliary verb and it is present indefinite tense. So we have to bring an auxiliary verb according to the subject am, is, are. In present indefinite tense, we have to bring am, is, are. According to the subject, you have to use am or is or are. Here, he, as the he is subject here, so you have to bring an auxiliary verb is. Is the another factor is you have to use the third form of verbs. That means past participle of verbs. You have to use the past participle of verbs. This is called the heart of voice sense, because there will be not a single not a single passive sentence without using the past participle of verbs. So you must have to make your verbs into past participle. There is no any alternative if you want to turn it into passive sentence. Here, then he is well known. Well known. That means he is well known. No past participle. Known, well known to me. Here, added one preposition has been added to, and I subject has gone to the object position. So whenever I will be used as object, then it will be me. It will be me. I, me, my. So then what we have found? Already you have learned this in your previous classes, yet just going to repeat it. Subject, then what's the main theme or what's the main way, main rules to change an active sentence into passive tense. At first, you have to find out subject, verb, object. Remember, listen carefully. At first, you have to find out subject, verb, object. Then you have to bring the object into subject position. Then you have to use an extra auxiliary verb. Extra auxiliary verbs again. I am saying if there is an auxiliary verb, it will, of course, it will sit. Then an extra auxiliary verb will come to the sentence. Then you have to make the past participle of main verb or finite verb, and then there will be a preposition by, to, at, with. By, to, at, with. These kinds of preposition, according to the demand of the sentence, you have to use once. By, to, at, with. After that, you have to use the subject will go to the object position. These are the main rules to change an active sentence into passive sentence. Dear students, then think about. Next, I am going to think about the second sentence, because it's a vice versa. You have to sense if the in your question paper you will find it. Sometimes there may have passive sentence, you have to make it active sentence, and sometimes there may have active sentence, you have to make it into passive sentence. So vice versa. You have we discussed how can we change an active sentence into a passive tense. Now we will discuss how we will again take a passive sentence into an active sentence. Here, in some cases, you have to recognize the passive sentence. Which sentence is passive sentence? In some cases, the students follow if there is by or to or at. If they see this kinds of preposition, they think the sentence is passive. Actually, this idea is not correct, because there may have by, to, at, with actually don't indicate either the sentence is passive or active. You have to give emphasis on the condition of verbs. First, your first duty will be to give focus on either the position of verb, either it is it is in present form or past participle form. If the verb is past participle form, then you can be 50% sure that the sentence may be past participle if you have the auxiliary with auxiliary verbs, past participle and auxiliary verbs. Then in present perfect tense, you will also have, in active sentence you will also have the past participle of verbs and an auxiliary verb. Then what will you do? You will normally, the structure of present perfect tense. I have done the work. Here I have auxiliary verb and done the past participle, but it is active sentence. Then what will you do? If there is extra auxiliary verb, suppose the book has been done. The work has been done. The work has been done. Here, have or has and an extra auxiliary verb and the past participle of main verb. So these are the ways to recognize a passive sentence. If you practice it well, then it will not be difficult to you. Then how can we change a passive sentence into an active sentence. Here, think about the position of subject and object will be changed according to the rules of voice. So the book has been read thoroughly. Here the book is in subject position, but by who has read the book, it is not mentioned here. The agent is not mentioned here. Then what will it do? If the agent is not mentioned here, then we have to think it about someone. The agent is not clear. Anybody may do the work. Anybody may read thoroughly. Actually, here the agent is not factor, but the factor is the book has been read thoroughly. The importance is given on the reading of books. But who has read the book? This is not factor. Here it is. You should be clear. The who has read the book? It's not factor, but the book has been read thoroughly. This is the factor. So then it is the agent is not mentioned here. So you have to bring an agent. I think it's better to bring someone. Someone, maybe anyone, someone. Then there will be the again the matter of auxiliary verbs. In active sentence, you have to bring an auxiliary verb. Whenever you will make an active to passive, you have to bring an auxiliary verbs, and whenever you will go back from passive to active, then you have to remove. You have to remove an auxiliary verbs. Here, you have to remove an auxiliary. Here, the book has been read. There are two auxiliary verbs. Has been read. So been has been omitted here. Been has been omitted here. Only there will have has. Someone has been omitted, and the verb will come to his normal position. That will how what is normal position according to the in which tenses the sentence is. It is actually read. This is the past participle of read. The spelling is same, but the pronunciation is different. Someone has read the book thoroughly. So someone has read the book thoroughly. This kind of here it is the past participle form, same form, and the book which was used as subject, it has gone to the object position, and thoroughly extra words that are seated usually. So, dear students, because we can't continue our class anymore, our time is limited. You know, we have to depend on online classes. So again, I request you to follow our classes according to our routine. You are supplied our classes. You are provided our classes. You will follow this, and you be careful, because always follow the rules of health and hygiene, and try to stay home and be safe. Thank you very much. Wish you best of luck. Whenever you will fall, if you fall in any difficulty, you will call us. We are always ready to help you. See you in next classes. Wish you best of luck. Thank you very much.